going now. Man, I don't even know. All I know is it's 4th of July weekend. I got 3 days off and I'm going south. Off on another adventure. Where's this venture taking me? Well, I don't know. I got 3 days off of work. I got no plans. My son's gonna be working. So I decided to hook up the trailer, throw the canoe on top, just head south. All the other tourists are north. That's pretty much where all the Forest Service campgrounds are and all that kind of stuff in my area. So I'm going out to an area that's pretty much dispersed camping, pretty rural, an area you've seen me in before. I'm gonna head down to the Sixes River and just kind of go up the river and see if I can find a campsite. If I can't, I'll circle back around and come down. Did I say the Sixes River? I'm sorry. I'm going up the Elk River and look for a campsite there, and then I'll come back down around the Sixes River if I can't find one. So hopefully with all that forest out there, I'll find a spot. And if I can't find something along the river, then I know I can always head up the mountain and find something out in the forest. So either case, doing some camping, 4th of July weekend. Thanks for coming along. God bless. Take care. I think I found the Sixes River. Well, I've completely traversed all the way up over the Elk River and then back down the Sixes River, and I found a couple sites along the Elk River that are just kind of right off the side of the road. Not really something I really want to stay at, but if I have to, I will. But I'm kind of like out of options at this point. I'm making a trip back up through the Elk River, hoping that maybe some of the people that were in the spots before were just day using and swimming, and now that it's getting later in the day and colder, maybe they're gone. But if not, then I'm gonna have to turn back around and go to another spot right off the side of the road. And I guess that's not the end of the world. It's got some spectacular water right across the street, literally, from the campsite. But I don't know. The river's so beautiful over here. I just gotta find me a spot so I can at least walk down to it. Well, here's home for the night. Only one little mistake. Hopefully it's not too bad. Let's see where the smoke is just kind of hitting the corner of my shelter, going inside. Hopefully that won't be a problem. There's plenty of room for it to escape before it gets into my trailer. But either way, here's my site. I'm actually at Laird Lake. It's a U.S. Forest Service campground and it's free. Yes, indeed. Loving it. Got the other little blue tarp up on the side there because we are expecting a little bit of rain possibly Sunday night. But I like to keep that door open, and it kind of gives me privacy putting it up this way too. So, pretty cool. I am in a public campground. As you can see over in the distance there's other cars out that way. And then there's a lake that goes all the way down this way. Bathroom's right there, and just beyond the bathroom there is the boat ramp. We'll be looking at that tomorrow. Other case, this is home for the night. Yes, sir. Can't wait to get relaxed, kind of kick back, enjoy this fire, and just start to unwind. Yeah. You know, it's about 8 o'clock at night, and it's actually getting cold. Look at, you can see my breath. I'm gonna have to I'm gonna have to involve in something. No, I'm gonna have to invest in a manual thermometer for the outside of this thing because I don't have one, and I'd like to know how cold it actually is. But it's July 2nd. Huh. and I can see my breath. Yeah, could be a long night. I added a little something. I took my other walls from my Easy Up and stuck them out on the outside of my bug screen here. This is just so I can get dressed and standing up and not have to worry about people looking on me, as the bathroom is right there. Yes. I need to make something on this like permanent, like that just snaps on that does this. I found another use for my restroom shelter. A fire break. The wind's coming from behind it, just ever so slightly. And with that there, the smoke's just going straight up. Yeah. I'm so hungry. I got pork chops to cook tonight, but I gotta get that down to coals. I'm losing light. I got hot dogs too. I can cook them up right now with these flames, just be fine. Those pork chops are gonna be so good. But I gotta get them down to coals or they're gonna burn. Be patient, I'll be patient. Burn fire, burn, burn! Nice and solid. Barbecue sauce from home. I love cooking over a fire. Even better than charcoal. This tastes so good. I got some nice pork chops here. Look like they're cooked. I'm about to find out. Oh yeah, baby, look at that. Oh, that looks good. Oh yeah. Really taste the smoke. Oh gosh. All right, I'm gonna get lost here in a carb fit, so catch y'all later. Well, it's day 2. I've been just laying here all morning. Woke up early. It's like 9 o'clock right now. I never sleep this late. It's so quiet and peaceful right now, though. I think I'll just lay here a little longer. It's breakfast time. I need a cup. So I cut the top off of this bottle. Now, if you're ever going to do this, here's the trick. Take out a lighter. Just go right along the edge. Anything that's buried, just melt that down. Get yourself one section. It's all the same height, and that'll be where you drink from. Now, the whole edge is nice and smooth, no burrs. Won't hurt you none. We had a triple bowl of this baby. And what breakfast is complete without a glass of milk? Nothing like eating outside. I just love it. I don't know why. Maybe I'm just kind of primal. I mean, it's not a very special breakfast. Just some good old apple, cinnamon oatmeal, instant, backpacker special. But you know, hey, it's good for you. And hot. Yep. Good hot breakfast. Gotta do some canoeing. Got a little cloud cover coming in right now. Hopefully that rain that's supposed to hit tonight will still be hitting tonight and not today. But we'll see how that goes. But either case, have some breakfast, and get out in my boat and head out on the water. Life grows everywhere, even on a picnic table. So here's a little pro tip for you. Your citronella candle getting near its end. So get yourself a piece of punk wood, get it going pretty good with your lighter, and then just stick it in here over your candle. Doesn't have to be right on it, but just enough to keep that thing smoldering. Keep that thing smoldering, and even if it catches fire, it's just gonna go inside this little cup here. So not a big deal, but that right there will multiply your citronella candle exponentially. My canopy here was completely covered in flying insects, and there's just one left up there, and he's like trying to figure out how the hell do I get out of here. Pretty awesome. Punkwood, you can find it anywhere. All right, so here I am at, I think it's pronounced Laird Lake, and it's my first time coming out in this lake. Never been here before. This is I guess in my area, what you'd call a high mountain lake. It's a higher elevation up in the hills. It's fed by a creek, and you can hear it behind me, but it's a beautiful lake. Water's crystal clear. It's been a nice campsite so far, so let's go check it out. This water's so clear that that log right there you see, it's probably in 5 feet of water, and then beyond that just gets way deeper. Crystal clear. We're definitely gonna have to take some water dip shots here. What was that? Oh, there's fish in here. Looks like my neighbors have completely cleared out. There's some more fish. Oh, there's 2, 3. Get that right there. Get that. Hopefully the camera's picking them up. There's a couple more. I really hope I got this footage, because I just filmed a bunch of GoPro footage of fish underwater, and I'll tell you what, now it was like amazing. I hope I can get some more. I'm going to change around the settings on my camera so it's actually set up for it instead of being on standard mode, and hopefully it'll make a difference. Some incredible footage of a salamander. Oh, there's more right there in the water next to me. This water's so clear, it's unreal. always enjoy watching these salamanders. They just remind me of crocodiles. You know, mini crocodiles. But either way, they're kind of cute. They're kind of cool how they move around. This guy just swam by me for a while. Well, I thought he was heading away from me until he realized he was swimming towards the biggest fish in the pond and turned right back around. Came back my way. Figured I wasn't such a threat after all, I guess. I couldn't take it anymore. I had to get my fishing pole. I always wanted to fish in a swimming pool. This was as close to it as you can get. But you know what? It wasn't as easy as I thought it was at first. I keep in my fishing kit a variety of different power baits, and I pretty much tried them all here. And they didn't like this one. Or this one. So I decided to try up a little spinner. Didn't like it. Different spinner. Didn't like it either. How about this one? Nope. This was more like a fish retardant than attractant. They didn't like it at all. Nope, not this one either. Or this one. I finally got one. Yeah. Not a big one. He's a fighter though, look at him. Took me a while to figure out what kind of bait to use. Well, I really wanted to let this guy go, but he swallowed my whole hook. A whole hook. Well, I pulled the hook out of that little guy the best I could, but he was bleeding pretty bad. But I went ahead and let him go anyway, because he's not big enough to eat. But he was pretty hungry. Hopefully he makes it. There he is. I'm down, buddy. I'm down. There she is. Oh, she's strong. That's rainbow trout. Let's let him go. Yeah, there's the setup right there. Just a simple hook with a couple of beads on there. We'll give it one more cast. We'll call this fishing a day here. Yep, got another one. This one's a little smaller than the last, but none of these guys are big enough to eat, so I'm just gonna let them go too. Well, I got this whole lake to myself now, this whole campground to myself now. Everybody's left, so it's kind of nice, very peaceful now. Got woke up this morning, the kids screaming, dogs barking, generators and ATVs, you know, it's all the good stuff that everybody plays with. No harm in it. But I really like quiet. Man, it is quiet. Just the wind blowing and just me on this lake with all these fish. They must have stocked this lake, is why I think that these fish are acting like that, because they're all pretty much staying at the only place that you can get a truck to be able to dump fish in, so, which is all on that end of the lake, where most of the food is on the other end of the lake where the algae is. So that tells me these are probably hatchery fish. planted here for people to fish in. And thank goodness that the federal government does do something right as far as U.S. Forest Service, BLM. They really know how to stock their fish. Here in Oregon, they do a great job stocking fish. We have a lot of hatcheries here, a lot of resources for them, and I tell you, they do a great job keeping lakes like this full of trout. So I'm sure that the kids that were all here, if they had poles, had a great time fishing, you know, because I caught four. I caught four fish just sitting here, you know, playing around. And by the time I figured out which bait it was a good one. So hopefully the footage came out pretty cool with those fish being on there. It's the first time I ever tried to film underwater and fish at the same time. That's tough. That's really tough. But in either case, it's been a great time out here at this lake. And I think I'm gonna have to come back here again, because it's that lakeside spot there is pretty nice. I'll give you a view of it from the water. And the underneath of this lake is amazing. There's just giant stumps sitting here next to me. I could actually step out of the boat and only have my feet in like a couple inches of water. And I'm probably gonna run into this thing right now. But it looks like it's just cut off at water level. It's so cool. This lake's full of things like this. As you can see over there, that's a campsite. Notice the benches. Pretty nice. I have to add too, the water really isn't very cold. You know, I wouldn't mind swimming in it. If it was a little bit warmer outside, it might make a difference. And shockingly, not very buggy. Not very buggy at all. Maybe it's just the time of the year. Maybe the water flow is still kind of high in this lake, but it's not very buggy. And believe me, I really appreciate that. I don't like all these bugs, but who does, right? But it's part of the outdoors. So either case, thanks for coming along. So I've been hearing this creek running all this time. Just want to go over here and check it out. This area here is known for gold. And this creek right here has just suffered major flooding, and it's just on the recovery stage. So it is possible you might find a little bit of gold in here. Most likely be someplace like that where it's eroded down off the bank and collected somewhere new. But I don't see any black sand or anything like that. But it sure is gorgeous. If I wasn't alone, I think I'd try to get up in there. That looks pretty cool. But it's kind of dangerous getting up in there. There's the area I was just talking about. You look, there's a flat section. Kind of goes around the bend there. Looks like a little goat trail or something. Up into that area, which you can't really see through the trees. It's kind of flat. And there's the flat section I was talking about. Not completely flat, but walkable for sure. Probably all the way up to the top of the peak up there, which kind of carries you all the way up into the hills there. can't really see because of all the trees. Don't go too fast down these trails. Might mess up the wildlife. It's almost like there's remnants of an ancient trail right there. Just kind of goes along the edge. There is a trail along this side. It's kind of worn off, and I don't have any gear on me, so I'm not going to go solo in with that at the moment. Just enjoy the beautiful creek here. I saw this trail earlier. I would have definitely planned on taking it. It definitely goes somewhere. That's quite a trail. We're gonna go up to the top and just look. Well, comes up from there and just kind of continues on up into the forest. I imagine it tries to find its way around the lake, but I don't know. But I'm still in my water shoes, so I'm not gonna do that solo. Here's another pro tip for you. When you're sitting in your chair and you get cold, your butt gets cold, the key is to take a blanket, wrap it underneath the chair, right? Create some free airspace, just like a hammock under quilt. Just wrap the rest of it over the top of the chair, sit down on it, make it more comfortable, and it's nice and warm. So I was sitting here thinking, man, it's July, and I got a beanie on and a hoodie. Earlier, it was like freaking probably 80 degrees. I was hot, you know, and just down to a t-shirt, almost down to shorts. And now it's cold again. So I just checked my elevation, and I'm at 1,830 feet. So I guess that's the difference. I am higher in the mountains than I normally am. I know a lot of you people are like, that's nothing, Chuck. Well, I live at sea level. So for me, you know, it's pretty much 50 degrees year round, 50 to 60 degrees year round, 50 to 65 in the summertime, sometimes 70. If it hits 80 where I live, man, people are like dying, like literally they gotta go to the hospital, the heat stroke and stuff. You know, it's crazy. I used to live where it was like 114 in the summertime, you know, and I'm so glad I don't live there now. But yeah, it's July 3rd, and it's not even dark yet, and it's cold. There it is. What do you do when you're bored around camp? You build yourself a crazy pyramid-style cabin fire. Yeah. I got this all set up to light off of that one thing right there. I'm gonna stick it down inside the hole. Set it all ablaze. These big ones will come falling in as it burns. I just want to take a minute and talk about my bucket. This is probably something that is one of those things that's the least talked about thing in your camping gear. It's something that you rely on, and you don't even realize it because it was so simple, so cheap. So what I got here is a Harbor Freight bucket with a gamma lid. So $2 to $5.99 depending on when you buy them. $20 to $30 depending on who you buy it from. But this gamma lid here is it's 4 years old. No, I'm sorry, it's 3 years old. And it's going on its 4th season. So The only modification I did to it was I put this old shop stool seat on top of it. I just screwed it in, silicone the hell out of it, and I keep my food in here. It's completely solid. If I'm in bear country, yeah, I changed the bucket handle over to paracord so it's easier on the hand to carry. And if I'm in bear country, I just hook this on and pull it up in a tree. Don't worry about it. And the greatest thing about it is, if you're canoe camping, you got a chair. Right there, nice stool. And if you bring a chair, you got an ottoman. I'm telling you, you can't go wrong. This thing has been through 3 flips and 3 full submerges in canoe trips. Both my own call trips, the one with Charles doing tandems. This was in the boat, and we sunk the boat twice. Kept it upright, but completely submerged that boat twice. If you watch the video, it's kind of crazy. We had way too much gear for that boat. It was a tandem boat, my 17-footer, and we just, I mean, at one point, we're going underwater, and I'm screaming, dive, 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 because we're just used to it. We took a wave over the bow, and it's over. But anyway, nothing got wet in here, nothing. And then, the next Umpqua trip, I'm solo. I flipped my boat 3 times. This thing is just floating in the water next to the boat one time. The other time I secured it in and actually held my boat from sinking. It kept the butt end up rather than having float bags. So another option there. If you've got a canoe and this fits in there well, and it's just a 5-gallon bucket, it'll actually act as a float for you. It'll actually help that thing float, providing you don't have, like, 90 pounds of stuff in it. But if you just put your regular food in there, most of the time it's air. So I'm telling you, I love it. Can't go wrong. So what are we having for dinner tonight? Hot dogs, huh? Well, maybe. Some people might call them hot dogs. I mean, they are hot dogs. But this dish is special to me. This is something my grandmother Tomasa, used to feed me when I was young. And honestly, it's become a staple food of my life ever since. She called it taco canoeing. And it's really simple. It's a tortilla with a hot dog in it. No magic. But man, it's been a staple food of my life. My entire life. Taco canoeing. Proper way to cook tortillas, you'll start to see bubbles start to form in them. In the heat, you kind of see some coming in there. See it right there? That's when you know they're done. I like them to be a little bit brownish, but not brown. Just starting to get there. See that big bubble? Perfect. That one too. So your hot dog, drop it in the tortilla. Roll away, simple. If you want to take it up a notch, like Emerald Degrassi says, just add a piece of cheese. These are good. But when she made them with corn tortillas and Monterey Jack cheese, boy, that was something special. Not the healthiest thing to eat, but back in those days, nobody cared about fitness. I've been told I bring weird things on camping trips to eat. Like, I got cookies and milk with me. chocolate pudding, bananas. But really, I'm pretty mild compared to the mentors that I had. I remember the very first time I ever had escargot. If you're not familiar with escargot is, it's a very expensive French dish that involves sea snails. Yeah, but it's very, very highfalutin, and I happen to really like it. Either case, the very first time I ever had it was on a camping trip. My family and I were camping on the American River doing some whitewater rafting, and my dad's friend Buck, he made some escargot over a single burner propane stove right there on a picnic table. And I gotta say, to this day, there's only been a few restaurants that have been able to rival Buck's escargot. Guy knew what he was doing. Thank you, Buck. You know, Buck also gave us rattlesnake that same trip. Yeah, first time I ever had a rattlesnake either. Guy really liked making weird things. Well, it's Sunday night. It's about midnight right now. I slept in too long. Pretty much packed up my whole camp, except for my easy up and the things I needed to support the trailer. So the plan is in the morning, just get up, pack up, and get on the road. 4th of July. I'm gonna hook up with my son, see what's going on. Either case, so far it's been a good trip. Can't wait to get some sleep. Oh man. Oh shit. That's already swelling up. Oh my god, that hurt. Kind of pinched right in here. Woo. Well, thanks for coming along with me on another adventure. This adventure was kind of interesting. Drove all the way up the Elk River, back down the Sixes, and then to drive back up the Elk River to the top of the mountain to end up here at Laird Lake. And very satisfied. You know, looking at this place on the map, you'd think, man, it's just a puddle. Why would anybody want to go there? It's got to be bug ridden. But you know what? There's some bugs, but not compared to other places. You know, maybe the higher elevation here, our coastal bugs aren't used to that. But either case, it's a great place to come and spend the day, spend the weekend, good overnighter. I wouldn't want to do more than 2 days here. You'd probably get pretty bored, but there is a lot of hiking trails and things around here. This creek is real interesting to go look at, and there's a ton of places to explore off-road as well if you're into trail riding. So yeah, mountain biking as well. I had a friend of mine who came in here and stayed just a couple weeks ago. He actually was on a mountain biking trip where he was riding on these mountains out here with his gear and everything on his bike. It's pretty cool. It's a great video. You got to check that out. I'll try to put a link to that in the description below. But yep, good times, good times. Thank you very much. God bless. Hit that like and subscribe, and thanks again for watching. I don't know why I didn't think about just like picking up my phone and starting to film, but I just ran into my buddy Michael. He's the guy I was talking about earlier that rode his mountain bike up there and camped at Laird Lake. Well, him and his buddies are all just riding up there for the day, just to go up there and come back down. I'll tell you right now, man, that's a serious ride. I've been driving right now for almost an hour, and they're not even halfway there yet. That's pretty stout, pretty stout. Impressive. Good job, bro.